I'm Reverend Leslie Stewart of Resurrection Episcopal Church, and we have a special service called Warrior Church. We want to help heal moral injury, and it's to try and help veterans and first responders who have PTSD come together. The thing that I hate about PTSD is that it takes people away and isolates them, keeps them from gathering, and they need those connections. So much of our healing is just about having relationships. This is our mission, and it's something that I understand because I'm a veteran myself. I served for 6 years in Air Force Special Operations, and then I went to pilot training, and I flew jets. I did a total of 14 years in the military.
My name is Nick Ray. I'm the trainer here for Warrior Church. I used to work with the Wounded Warriors Foundation doing social rehabilitation services for people that were missing limbs or having other issues associated with their war wounds. People come to the plate feeling like there's things they just can't do. And being able to take their idea of what they feel that they were limited by, and then watching them throw that out the window and then tell themselves, I can do this. There's a big transition I see for myself biomechanically when I'm working with these people, where I see the mental notion of I can't to I can.
Uh, 20th of January, had a couple of phone calls with family members, talked to them about everyday things, went to work. I was waiting tables, stayed there for a couple of hours, got a little angry, got a little just sick of everything, wanted to say F it all, and then decided F it all, so I turned in the uniform, so to speak. Honestly, didn't expect to be here now or be there later, but 3 days later I woke up in the ICU, and then they transported me to a mental hospital, which I spent the rest of the week being the full 7 days in the mental hospital before they released me. And now, since that was January 20th of this year, so now I'm trying very hard to get myself back to what people would refer to as normal.
One of the things that's most important and healing about Warrior Church is that you can be with a community of other people who know what it's like to try and find normal. Let us now sound our drum of prayer to recognize the veterans each day who decide to end the suffering of this life.
My name is Matthew Cardwell. I was in the United States Army for 6 years. Did 2 tours to Iraq. I talk about the chaos being sporadic and unstructured, but there was also chaos that I experienced overseas. And once you come into a civilian lifestyle, for the most part, that chaos will cease to exist in terms of danger or hazardous areas. I was trained in such a way that I never let that go. I would walk around large crowds and be extremely anxious, just kind of on edge at all times, because that's how, I guess that's what I was trained to do, to keep myself protected at all times. What I see the Warrior Church doing for me is it's going to bring me back into, like I said, a community of people that I can trust and I can make into a family and just enjoy life with, whether it's through trials or tribulations. I feel that they are going to just support me in any possible way they can, just like Leslie's done so far.
They do train us to be vigilant. And in fact, when we come back and you've had trauma, we actually can be hyper-vigilant. They don't train us in how do you lay that back down. For us, we offer sanctuary. Warrior Church is a safe place where we can come and feel secure and feel like we have a space where we can just be ourselves.
I was a flight surgeon stationed out of Dover Air Force Base, which is one of the port mortuaries in the United States. And I was on call on the day of 9/11. On that day, a lot went on at our base, including the fact that we prepared to receive all of those that had died on that day. And I was on call that whole week. I was there to witness that. And then shortly after I received my first deployment orders for me to go to war. And that was as I described it in a former meeting, a somewhat horrifying moment because after seeing all of the dead, I thought, oh, this is my time. I'm going to die.
Look, to come to Warrior Church, you don't have to have been on the front lines. You don't have to have been a war hero. For most of us, we were just people who experienced things that we encountered the fear of death. Our lives were at risk, or we were willing to put our lives at risk. And that's not something that you can talk to anybody about. And sometimes that's just a wound that we carry with us and we need to heal. And this is the place where we come to do that.
Yeah, church in general and the Warrior Church is sort of an opportunity to get the feeling I had in the military of serving something bigger than myself and pursuing worthwhile objectives.
We welcome everyone with compassionate understanding. We protect one another.
I spent 20 years in the Air Force, 10 of those in Air Force Special Operations, flying Special Operations aircraft. When I retired, I wanted nothing else to do with the military. I wanted to get as far away from the military environment as I could. I wanted to get to the civilian world and kind of forget all the stuff I had been through. You can only run away for so long, and then you have to come back. And luckily I found Warrior Church, who has brought me back to my brothers and sisters and have helped me overcome a lot of personal issues I had at the time.
The church and its service, imparting your wisdom, courage, and compassion to our leaders.
Oh yeah, I'm getting
God's
goosebumps.
divine purpose is fulfilled. Our families, friends, and neighbors, those known and unknown. We're about raising people back up. This is what resurrection looks like. This is the church of Get Back Up.